Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I say you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a new discovery that I've made. Today I've learned that I am banned from entering the United States of America. And I also learned, not today, a few days ago, but I wanted to collaborate the two. I learned that I was actually deported from the United States of America a few years ago. That were news to me, and I got this from the horse's mouth, people. I was told this information by the United States of America Embassy. They told me that in 1997, I was deported from the United States of America. And today I learned that I am permanently banned from the United States of America. But let me get into it. For all of you guys who don't know anything about my autobiography, Survive is pretty much written about my entire life story. And because most of my youthful years was actually spent in the United States of America, in particularly Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the book Survive, my autobiography, is pretty much all about my life in Jamaica, migrating from Jamaica, going to the USA, and my life in the United States of America. At the moment, I'm in the middle of doing a screenplay for Survive, and I'm also in the middle of writing another book that is titled 3120. So because of those two reasons, I can't go too much in depth of what actually took place, but I'm not going to keep you guys in the dark. I'm going to give you guys a nice little round idea of what went on and what led up to me finding out that I'm actually banned from the United States of America. I find it funny because on my channel, you know, even up to recently, I was in defense of someone who was deported from the United States of America and was facing some issues in Jamaica where employment is concerned. I've never actually uttered to my audience that I can relate to that person's situation more than just an outsider looking in. Yes, people, I was actually a part of that whole prison for profit thing that went down in the United States in the 1990s and what's actually still going on today in America. In 1991, before my 20th birthday, I was living in Philadelphia, and while I was at home late in the evening, police came into the house and they searched the house and found $4,000 in cash, which was mine. I claimed that the money was mine, and I was arrested on the spot for having $5,000 in cash. However, while I was arrested, I wasn't actually taken to the police station ASAP like that, you know. I sat there in the police van for what felt like forever, and one of the police officers came. I'm laughing about it now because, hey, I'm a grown man now. I understand life and politics much better. So back to the story. While I was there waiting in the van, a police officer came with a little baggie of white substance, and he said, "This is mine." I kind of kissed my teeth because I was there with my girlfriend at the time, and I was there with one of my homeboys at the time, and they pretty much knew that that was mine. They didn't find that in the house. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was actually arrested and charged for possession of a controlled substance and $1,500. so $3,500, $2,500 of my money had kind of disappeared on that night, and I was told that I'm being charged for 8 grams of cocaine in my possession with $1,500, and I supposed to have had a sawed-off shotgun laying next to my bed where I was arrested. To make this story short, by the time it got in front of a judge, the judge name was Arthur Cafferson. Some names you just don't forget. You know, Arthur S. Cafferson was a judge in Philadelphia court at the time. What was funny, the dude that came to court to testify against me, a police officer by the name of Leonard T. Sutton, testified against me. He was a total different color from the police that actually arrested me. But you know, I was young, I was relying on my lawyer at the time. I had a lawyer, my mom had got me a lawyer, and I was telling the lawyer that, hey, this cop here is white, you know, or I can't remember. I think the dude that arrested me was white and the dude that testified against me was black. I can't remember. This has been 1991, people. But the dude that came to court and testified against me was of a total different race. And according to this guy told the judge that when he came into the room, I was laying on a bed. I had 8 grams of cocaine laying next to me and $1,500 laying all over me. It was spread out. He said $1,500 was spread out all over the bed. And my girlfriend, who was actually sitting in a chair when the cops came, it was said that she was laying next to me and a shotgun was laying next to me beside the bed. However, considering that I didn't have any previous criminal record or history, the judge kind of found me guilty, even though I pleaded not guilty, and said he was going to sentence me to a mandatory 1 to 2 years in prison. At 19 years old, 1 to 2 years in prison, people, sound like forever. So when it was time for me to go to court, being young, I didn't go. I stayed away as long as I possibly could, which only lasted about a year. After a year, I was picked up on the streets of Philadelphia, and guess what? My 1 to 2 year sentence, for some reason, turned into, I'm jumping the gun a little bit too far. So the year before, the judge had said for some reason he didn't buy the position of the gun, so he kind of kicked it out. However, a year later, when I was rearrested, this gun somehow came back into the picture, and my 1 to 2 year sentence turned into 2.5 to 10 years. I'm laughing now because America is way behind me, and I have my personal reasons as to why I don't like America. I'm not so for America. I don't have anything against any Jamaican or any human being who still sees America as the apple of their eye, but let's just say I've learned my lesson about being in America. If any of you guys have read my book Survive, or even watched the story of Survive, you guys will know from the door I was not a saint. I was far from being a saint. But at the same time, even though I was far from being a saint, people, this is like 27, 28 years later, I would have no reason to be lying now. In the United States of America, I was framed. So for any of you guys who have actually read my book, Survive Raw and Edited, you guys may have a more in-depth understanding of what exactly is it that I'm talking about. For all you other guys who are waiting for the biopic to come out, or all you guys who haven't actually read the book, you can go and cop the book now. Also, my new book that's coming out, I would say early 2020. It's actually was taken from one chapter of the actual book Survive, and I've just decided to make that one chapter into an entire book by itself. Recently, I wanted some more information because I didn't have any plans to go back into time to actually write anything more about what happened in Philadelphia. But as we were working on the screenplay, a few questions came up that I could not answer. I didn't know what the United States of America thought of me in present day. What was their last thought of me? First and foremost, I was a legal permanent resident in the United States of America. I was not an illegal, didn't get to America illegal. I went to the United States of America. My green card came in the post. So did my social security number, and I started to live the so-called American dream. But you know, I was a teenager, so I can't sit here and act like my hands was never dirty. What I'm actually saying is that the arrest and the charge that actually got me convicted in the United States of America was 100% a lie, was 100% framed. By the time I realized that my sentence was changed from 1 to 2 years to a maximum of 10 years in America, I was truly offended. You know, I was really offended, and I started not to like the United States of America. And without giving away too much of the biopic or too much of what's in the book, I will just say I came to a conclusion to voluntarily leave the United States of America. It is automatic that when you are a foreigner in the United States of America and you have been charged for anything, you have to go to an immigration hearing. The immigration hearing is usually about two things. First and foremost, they want to know if you had a legal status in the United States of America. And secondly, they wanted to know if your crime was in violation of any immigration law. After going to the court for about 3-4 times, I got fed up and I asked them, is there a way that I could opt out of keep coming to the court? I was not that in love with the United States of America as young as I was. So this happened when I was about 19, and when I was 23, I still find myself going to immigration court even though I was a legal resident in the United States of America. I wasn't feeling the whole parole situation because from living in America, I kind of saw what parole have done to people. You know, it's like putting shackles on your feet, and if you're on parole in the United States of America, you will pretty much be owned by the United States judicial system forever. So pretty much if I was still living in the United States of America, a crime or an alleged crime that took place in 1991 would still be a ball and chain on my leg today in 2019. And I wasn't trying to feel that. So what happened in the end was I decided to talk to my parole officer and talk to the immigration judge and tell him that I want to go back to Jamaica. And everybody agreed, all around the board agreed, and I purchased a ticket, packed a few suitcases, and left America for Jamaica. I was told that while leaving the United States of America, considering that I was a green card holder, I was quite aware that if I stayed out of America for more than a year or something like that, it would be in contrast to my green card and I would have to reapply or stay out of America for 5 years. I was planning to stay out of America for way more than 5 years, considering the fact that my parole was like forever, people. Remember, in America, when they say to 10 years, it means whatever minimum sentence you serve, the rest of it is parole. The rest of it is you're pretty much in prison even though you're out on the street. And I wasn't trying to feel that. So I went to Jamaica, led my life. And the more I lived and led my life in Jamaica, I got used to being away from America, and America just didn't interest me anymore. My ties in America was strong, but then again, it wasn't as strong where I feel as if I had to be in the United States of America. So, speed it up to today, people. Recently, the book that I'm working on required some more information, and I needed to know what was my status in the United States of America system. So, the only way to find that out was to apply for a non-immigrant visa, which I applied for a non-immigrant visa to visit the United States of America recently. In all honesty, if I had received the non-immigrant visa, I probably would have used it. My wife always wanted us to go to New York City as a family, even though she has been to the United States of America before. But at the same time, she knows how I feel about America, and for me, it was a hit or miss. If I got it, I got it. If I didn't get it, I didn't get it. But one thing that I'm sure of that I would get is, what does the United States of America think of me? At the time of my interview to get this non-immigrant visa, I was told by the consulate that considering that you were arrested in 1991. There's like a big question sign on my computer here. So I have to investigate and know more about your arrest in 1991, and then I will know whether or not I can issue you a U.S. non-immigrant visa. Okay, so the visa wasn't issued on that day, and I waited to receive a letter from the United States of America Embassy, which arrived today. People, brace yourself, because when I read the reason why I could not get a United States of America visa, I was just as shocked as you're about to be. So I couldn't get a United States visa because I was arrested and charged in the United States of America for a crime that involves moral turpitude. Moral turpitude is the most aggravated, most offensive crime any human being on this planet could commit. So we're talking about rape is a moral turpitude, murder is a moral turpitude, armed robbery is moral turpitude. So I was classed as a person who have committed a crime involving moral turpitude. But because I had to go and verify the meaning of moral turpitude, that didn't shock me as much as the second reason why I could not be issued a United States of America visa. I could not be issued a United States of America visa because I was convicted of a crime involving drug trafficking. People, I found out today that I was a drug trafficker in America. I was a little offended, but considering that the visa didn't quite matter to me whether or not I got it, and it's still substance for my film in the making, and it's still substance for the book that I'm writing, that's the plus side of it. But the United States of America has me down as a former or present, I don't know, they have me down as a drug trafficker. So there you go, people. I was told that I was deported from the United States of America, even though when I left the United States of America and went to Jamaica, I didn't went there in any cuffs, I didn't went there in any chains, I didn't went there in any prison clothes. I went to Jamaica with suitcase that my mom packed with, you know, she put all her little goodie stuff in it. I went to Jamaica in my preferred suits, and I went to Jamaica. The only hung up I remember that happened when I went to Jamaica, the ticket, we thought it was to Kingston, and then it was to Montego Bay, so I had to make my way from Montego Bay to Kingston. That was 1997, people. The United States of America, I've learned a lot from it. I took the lessons with me. I don't take the opinions of the United States of America personal, because I've lived in several countries around the world. Before the United States of America, I've never been seen or stood in the light of being suspected as a criminal. Or after, the United States of America is the only country on the planet Earth that has me down as a criminal. And today I found out that I'm not just a criminal, I am a drug trafficker. So maybe I know people like Pablo Escobar, or maybe I know people like, what's this other guy called? El Chapo, you know. So today I find out that I'm pretty much in that kind of level, you know. But anyway, I've decided to throw it on my channel because it's interesting. It has some information that some people could use. It has some education in it. And at the same time, for me, and hopefully for you as well, it has some humor in it. You know, the United States of America isn't be all and end all. It's been 22 years since the last time I've been to the United States of America. And within that time, I've traveled to so many other countries and still enjoying life. There's nothing in the United States of America that I truly miss or could not have or something that it had offered me that I believe that I'm deprived of today. Not at all. If I never see the grounds of the United States of America again, takes nothing off me, but apparently I'll never see the grounds of the United States of America again. So there it is. Anyway, people, let me know what you think about this revelation. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about the US views of me, and let me know what you also think about my book. In closing, I'm just gonna let you guys in on the synopsis of the book called 3020, and I'm gonna read it out and sign out. So until next time, peace. In the 1990s, the city of Philadelphia was still suffering from the epidemic of crack cocaine, which had transformed Black and Hispanics neighborhoods into derelict ruins. But this did not stop the INS from admitting new residents into the United States of America. After all, 1 of every 2 Jamaicans immigrating to the US was more than likely to be arrested and convicted on drug-related charges within their first 24 months in the country. The epidemic was designed to destroy lives, fueled a prison-for-profit program, and brought a host of corrupt police, shady district attorneys, and judges to partake. Being of Black or Hispanic ethnicity meant suitable commodity, a reality one Jamaican had to learn with the numbers 30 to 120.